Hey, what's going on, y'all? So earlier today, or actually yesterday, I can't even remember which. It probably would have been around 12 or 2 in the morning. I actually created a video about the Cardi B versus Tasha K situation, and I threw it out there. Now, the video was titled "Has the Cardi B lawsuit made Tasha K desperate?" And the reason I posted because I was watching other videos by other people who were basically saying that Tasha K was scamming people for exclusive information on Patreon. But when these people go to this Patreon account, they were finding that the information was basically garbage, right? So I just felt inclined to make the video. Now, when I made that video, I specifically said that I wasn't sure if any information was true. And I specifically said it's all speculation and allegation, right? So typically, whenever I make a video, I try to base my videos on facts. If it's not going to be facts, it's going to be my opinion. I let you know up front, this is my opinion, or this is what I think. I'll even say things like, I'm not sure if this is true, right? So I had a person watch the video who's obviously a fan of Tasha K, Sweet K, and I think Sweet K has actually been on my page in the past, right? So Sweet K basically clapped back at me, and she's basically dragging me through the mud, saying I need to do the research, I need to check the facts, this and the other. And she basically said that I'd do anything for clicks. And I'm not gonna lie, everybody out there who's creating YouTube videos, we're all doing things for clicks, right? So I'm not even gonna lie to you. The stories I cover are the stories that I believe are going to produce the most clicks. If I don't use that line of thinking when I make a video, then I'm making a video about something I deeply care about, right? For example, some of the Black Lives Matter movement and things of that nature. And generally, it's kind of a funny situation because I kind of like law. So yeah, I may cover some topics in law that I'm not really concerned about the clicks, but just because I want to talk about it. But fortunately for me, there's a lot of stuff to talk about that's going to give me clicks as well, right? So I'm not one of the most popular bloggers out there anyway, and my stuff is really just limited to law. So I'm not sure why Sweetie K is trying to get on me. I don't know why she wants to beat me up. And the funniest thing is that she's accusing me of exactly what Tasha K is being accused of. So it's just kind of funny. So based on Sweetie K's comment, I've actually changed my position in this whole thing. Since Sweetie K is obviously a fan of Tasha K, I originally started out wanting to defend Tasha K on the internet, but since Sweetie K has already taken that job, I'm going to basically hop on the Cardi B bandwagon and defend Cardi B. Even though I don't like a lot of things about Cardi B, I'm still gonna hop on the Cardi B bandwagon, right? So with that said, let's get into the facts. Let's get into the facts so Sweetie K or Sweet K can start riding me. So at any rate, I have the lawsuit and I promise that I'm going to try. Well, I'm not going to promise. Actually, let me retract that. I'm going to try, right? I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm going to try to cover this case from beginning to end. I'm going to try. I can't make any promises, but I'll tell you right now that this case was filed in what is that in 2019, early 2019, and to date, there's been about a bit over 41 filings in this case. So this case is really active, right? And I believe my suspicions are correct, and I believe what people are saying is true, that it's going to take money to basically litigate this case, and Cardi B could possibly be using a strategy, whereas she's not so much concerned with how much it costs. She's just trying to drag it out to basically break Tasha K. And I think, and maybe she's not trying to do that, but that's probably going to be the end result. But anyway, let me just give you the facts. And again, that was my opinion, right? Let me just give you the facts. So we have here, let let me take off the highlight so I don't highlight something by accident. So we basically have here the lawsuit between Bel Callis, Marlenis Almazar, who is also known as Cardi B. And this lawsuit is basically against Tasha K, or Tasha Kibi, or Latasha Transrena Kibi, and against Star Marie Ebony Jones, right? So that's who this lawsuit is against. Some of the things to take quick note of is that there is a demand for a jury. You can see that here. And basically, the parties in this case are, the people I've just mentioned, but basically Tasha K, who essentially lives in Georgia. I tried to redact some of the information because I don't want to put their address out there on the internet, right? And then basically, this is also against Star Marine Jones, known as Jones in this lawsuit, who also reside in Georgia. So both of them are living in Georgia, and that's going to be important because when you look at the jurisdiction, in order for a court to issue a judgment in any case, the court has to live. I'm sorry. In order for a court to issue a judgment in any case, the court has to have jurisdiction. And one of the things that people like to argue is that I don't live in that state. And because I don't live in that state, you can't put a judgment in on me, right? So the addresses are important because of that. And also the statute is going to be important. So basically, to get around this, the federal court has something called diversity jurisdiction. It basically means people living in different states can be taken to court to basically litigate a case. And one of the core requirements of that is that the lawsuit has to be above $75,000. So that's what we see here. And this is going to be the statute that's going to give the court jurisdiction. You guys can go and check that out, but it's pretty run of the mill stuff. You like I said, in order for you to go to court, the court has to have jurisdiction to hear your case. There are three basic forms of jurisdiction: personal jurisdiction, which typically means you were served, and then there's also subject matter jurisdiction, which means the court can typically hear cases involving this topic. And then there's also venue, meaning a proper place for the lawsuit. And the addresses are important in terms of venue because these people are living in different state. According to this lawsuit, basically Cardi B lives in New York, and then everybody else is in Georgia, right? So that's that. Now I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible, but I got to tell you, this is about 30 pages of allegations. And I think I initially I read the entire lawsuit. I'll tell you up front, I read the entire lawsuit, and I highlighted the things that I really thought were relevant, but and I tried to exclude things that I didn't think was relevant for the purposes of a YouTube video, right? I mean, I don't really want to just read everything verbatim to everybody because information becomes boring after a time. So what I'm going to do is that even though I've highlighted a lot of this information, I'm just going to skip through some of it because after a while you'll get the gist, you'll get the feel, you'll get the flow, and you'll get a sense of the allegations that are being made here, right? So basically, upon information and belief, Kibi is subject to personal jurisdiction in the state of Georgia, as she resides in and or is domiciled in Georgia. In addition, upon information and belief, Kibi owns, uses, or possesses real property within the state of Georgia, regularly transacts business as described below within the state of Georgia, and committed a tortious act within the state of Georgia, including the torts of invasion of privacy and false light. Now, again, if you want to know more about invasion of privacy and false light, all you have to do is just search my page for that topic or search my page for Tasha K. I think what I have is one video that talks about why Tasha K will be sued again in the future. And then I have three other subsequent videos. Maybe I will link one of them at the end of this video, right? So just moving on, upon information and belief, Jones is subject to personal jurisdiction of the state of Georgia as she reside in or is domiciled in Georgia. In addition, upon information believed Jones owns, uses, or possesses real property within the state of Georgia, regularly transacts business as described below within the state of Georgia, and committed a tortious act within the state of Georgia, including the torts of invasion of privacy and false light, right? And then that's where we get into the venue. Venue is proper in this district pursuant to 28 USC 1391 because Kibi and Jones are residents of this district and because upon information and belief, the conduct complained of occurred in this district, right? So essentially, we have two statutes being quoted here. One is 28 USC 1332, and then the other is 28 USC 1391. Again, those those statutes are going to be what's going to give the federal court jurisdiction to hear the case, or it's going to give the court the right to hear the case. I'm not going to go into that because those are run of the mill unless somebody really wants